Be the charming type.
Hey guys, how's it going? Daniel here. Today we're taking a look at the latest iPad Pro. Now this retails for $800 for the 64GB model, and as you go up in just storage, it does hike up in price very quickly, especially when you begin to add accessories like the Apple Pencil or the Smart Folio. I got the next step up, which is the 256, so they don't have a 128GB, and I can only assume that's on purpose because that's the perfect amount of storage that you would need for a base model, and they obviously want you to pay that much extra to go up from 64 because 64 is really not enough nowadays with all the apps. But yeah, this is the box. You got it right there, the iPad right here. Back of the box, nothing special. This is the 11-inch model, and I went with this one just because I love the 10.5-inch factor from before. This is the same size body with a larger screen, so that's awesome. The box and everything looks really nice. Of course, it's going to highlight that display that the new iPad has, which is a liquid retina display. And yeah, let's go ahead and just remove this right here. I'm actually really excited for this. And I went with the space gray just because I actually prefer the space gray finish on the iPad, and I'm not a huge fan of the silver. I prefer silver on MacBooks, and I like the space gray on the tablets, and I thought that this year this iPad with this screen just needed to be the space gray. It just looks too good, and I don't know, it looks cleaner than the other one. Something about the other one didn't catch my eye, but yeah, there you go. You got the antenna lines right there, the Apple logo, the smart connector, the other connector here for the Apple Pencil, volume buttons, and my goodness, does this feel amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and boot this guy up, and we'll check out what else is inside the box, because this time we actually do have something different. Here we do have that hole there for that huge camera bump that we have. It's not huge, but it's definitely there. Inside here we do have just a little pamphlet, and I can only assume that some of the Apple stickers and other stuff as well. Nothing important in there. We do have something different here though. It comes with a USB Type-C cable. And yeah, what's nice about this cable, it's going to use the same cable, you know, as my Nintendo Switch, as the MacBooks and everything, and you don't have to carry around different cables. Of course, if you have an iPhone, you still got to carry around a dang lightning connector, but I guess we'll eventually get to that in the future. And yeah, this is going to allow for just a bunch of different things to connect to the iPad, and it's just going to make everything better overall. So goodbye to the lightning cable. Of course, with this generation of iPad, we also say goodbye to the headphone jack. Here we also have the power adapter, which of course is very different to the previous models. It looks more like an actual power adapter, and it's very nice. And the whole cable and everything actually feels more premium than the previous years. Everything just feels a lot nicer and better. But you can see it there. Looks really nice. But of course, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the iPad itself, which honestly, I haven't been this excited for an Apple product in a very long time. And that's just mainly because, you know, you have a lot of phones out there that are really good and as good as the iPhone, but there's really not a lot of tablets that are as good or even close to as good as the iPad. Of course, not even as close to expensive as the iPad, which the whole bundle with like all the accessories that I'm going to cover in the other videos ended up costing me like $1,500 or so, which is nuts. And yeah, just the keyboard alone was like almost $200 with tax. So I'm going to go ahead and set this guy up with my actual stuff because I think I am definitely going to keep this iPad, and then I'll be right back. Now, I did want to jump in, of course, that we do have Face ID here, and that's how you unlock it. You no longer have the home button, so I'm going to go get here through the installation process and just get my face set up. There is no headphone jack, so you will be taking advantage a lot of those speakers or having to use a dongle of some sorts with USB-C there to actually listen to music. I personally barely ever used headphones on my iPad, so it's not a big deal for me. And if I were to use them, I'd just use the dongle because that's the age we're living in. And I mean, what's the point of complaining when the companies aren't going to listen to us anymore? So, all right, so here we go. I locked up my iPad for like half an hour because I messed up the passcode that I had put on it by 1 digit, and I had to look back at the footage. But here we go, restore complete. And it's now done setting up the iPad, so we're going to get into it right now. Now, before it does, let's go into a little bit more of the specs here. We do have a 12 megapixel camera on the back. It's pretty much the same sensor and everything that we're getting with the iPhone XS and XR. So it's going to be a really good camera that can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second and take all these HDR photos and everything. So it's going to be a really good camera for taking pictures of things, and especially documents and stuff. Everything's going to look really good. Now we do have 4 speakers, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. We got our lock button up here on the top right. We have the volume up and volume down top right as well here on the right hand side, and then we have the Apple Pencil connector. On the left hand side we just have like, I don't know, a little microphone there or something, and then of course bottom USB-C, which is just a joy to say, and then the 2 speakers as well. The smart connector on the back, Apple logo, and some antenna lines up there. And this is the normal Wi-Fi model, so that's just for Wi-Fi. The LTE model, I'm not sure how it looks, maybe larger bands or just bands at the bottom as well. Here, of course, are the gestures, teaching you how to use those gestures because we don't have a home button anymore. So you can switch between apps, ask Siri by holding down the lock button, and let's swipe up to get started. And there we go. Let me go ahead and change the wallpaper. It's a little bright. And talking about wallpapers, I do have a link down below in the description to the latest Apple wallpapers. So these, if you want these for your tablet or your iPad, I have the link down below in the description so you can put those on there. And let's go with the darker one for now. Let's set that. All right, and there we go. Of course, this isn't the normal layout. This is like with all my apps and everything that I have on here. Yeah, I'm actually really just kind of blown away by the feeling of the tablet, and that's all I can really say right now. Of course, the refresh rate is one of the things that you'll notice if you haven't used some of the latest iPads. Like this thing, the way that it just scrolls, it's just like out of this world. Like all the animations and everything look incredible. And you can't tell on camera because of the frame rate I'm recording at, but it just looks unreal when you scroll through. And everything looks really good. The pixel density is high enough where you don't see the pixels, and I have glasses on right now. Everything just looks really, really nice. And yeah, I think the only problem with this tablet is really the price. I think all of us would like to have this tablet if it wasn't for the price tag, because this is expensive. I mean, normally you'd be shelling out this type of money for the MacBook Air, but now this tablet, of course, the iPads have been getting expensive for a while now, but I mean, this is really next level. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I was just going over that. Maybe I'll do a review or maybe some workflow video to see how this thing runs and, if it can replace my laptop for real. And not like those other clickbait videos, like actually trying it and actually doing it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll have videos on all the other accessories in the next videos. I decided to make separate videos for that just because they're super expensive. So, I might as well just take a nice look into them and just not, put everything into one video. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or reach out to me on Twitter at RMRDNL or at Dargads, and I'll get back to you there. And all the links will be down below in the description to the wallpapers and everything else that I mentioned. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.